Hello 3W. So today we're going to go back to number lines and also talk about comparing fractions. So once again, you need to make sure that when you're looking at a number line or you're working with number lines that you keep them accurate and they have equal pieces. Hopefully you recognize this because that means you watched Mr. Westhoff's video last week. How you can tell if your pieces are accurate is if each piece is equal to the same amount. Here I broke my number line into fourths, 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. Up here I do not have 4 equal pieces. If you look at a number line, notice once again that these two number lines are the exact same size. 0 starts right here and my 1 whole is right at the end. Just like when I use fraction bars, my bars had to be the same whole size. You can tell on a number line if fractions are equal if they are lined up right on top of each other like this. So here I could write that 2/4 equals 3/6 because they're right on top of each other on this number line. If I was going to think to myself, well, what do I know about 1/4 and 2/6? Well, on this number line, if I look at 1/4 and then I look at 2/6, maybe I'm going to draw a bar. I'm going to draw a bar here. Well, which bar is bigger? 2/6 is bigger, so 1/4 is less than 2/6. Can also think that because if I look at 1/4, 2/6 is a little bit farther. Let's look at 3/4 and 2/6. Here's kind of an obvious one. I'm going to show you guys a trick. Well, 1/4 was less than 2/6. Once again, I'm talking about 2/6. So I already did the work up here. I already said 2/6 is this far, and now 3/4 is going to be this far. Well, which one traveled farther? Which bar is bigger? Obviously 3/4 is bigger. So I would say 3/4 is bigger than 2/6. Alright, hopefully here you recognize this one also when we practiced on putting fractions on a number line or plotting them. Alright, so once again, here I am with my number line starting at the same spot and ending at the same spot for 1 whole. You maybe see two fractions right away that you know are equivalent. 1/2 and 2/4 are right on top of each other, so they are equivalent. 1/4 isn't as far as 1/2, so 1/4 is less than 1/2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually break this apart even more on this one right here. I'm going to break it apart into eighths. So I'm always going to start at half. I'm going to start at 4/8. And if I break this apart again and break it apart again, I'm at fourths. If I break it in half again and each section in half again, now I'm at eighths. So count by eighths with me. 0/8. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. Could look at this and compare fractions. Well, once again, I see these lined up, they are equal. I see these lined up, they are equal. I see 2/8 and 1/4 lined up, they are equal. So I might write down 6/8 equals 3/4. They're at the same location on the number lines. 2/8 equals 1/4. They're at the same spot on the number lines. If I draw bars to 0 to 1/4, 0 to 2/8, notice these two bars are the same size. Let's check out 3/8 and 2/4. If I look at 3/8 and 2/4, pause the video now to figure out if you know if 3/8 is bigger or smaller than 2/4. Alright, so now let's check it. Well, 3/8, 0 to 3/8 is this far. And 2/4 is this far. Well, my 2/4 is bigger, so 3/8 is greater than 2/4. You might have also known that because you know 2/4 is half, and 3/8 is not half yet, so it will be smaller.